Imagine opening your front door at dawn, coffee in hand, only to find a cop car screeching to a halt because your nosy neighbor decided your pickup truck is a visual assault on her perfect suburban dream. Turns out, she's the HOA queen bee who's about to get stung by her own rules. In the sleepy cul-de-sac of Willow Creek Estates, Colorado, where every lawn was mowed to military precision and every mailbox matched like soldiers on parade, life was supposed to be a postcard of American bliss. But under that glossy surface lurked the iron fist of the HOA, enforced by folks who treated bylaws like holy scripture. That's where I come in. Alex Thompson, retired logistics analyst from the Army Corps of Engineers. 22 years of mapping supply routes through hellholes where rules meant survival, not curb appeal. My wife, Maria, a pediatric therapist who'd patched up more emotional wounds than a battlefield medic. And our daughter Lily, off at college studying environmental science. We'd bought this 2-acre slice of heaven after decades of base hopping, Korea, Afghanistan, stateside posts where the only constant was change. Here, in Willow Creek, I finally had a driveway big enough for my Ford F-250. The beast that had hauled gear through dust storms and now just sat there, gleaming under the pines, minding its own damn business. Mornings were my ritual, black coffee from an old mess kit percolator, steam curling in the crisp air, the faint rumble of my truck warming up like a loyal old friend. For 3 months, it was paradise. Neighbors waved, dogs barked happily, and the mountains loomed like silent guardians. Then Barb Hargrove moved in next door. 55. Former school principal with a perm that screamed "I run the show," married to a absentee accountant who preferred spreadsheets to spine. She volunteered for the HOA board faster than you could say violation notice, and suddenly, she was vice president, clipboard in hand, patrolling like a self-appointed sheriff. It started innocently enough. Or so it seemed. One crisp October morning, I stepped out to grab the paper and found a neon pink slip fluttering under my wiper blade. Notice of aesthetic noncompliance, it read in bold, bureaucratic font. Oversized vehicle obstructing visual harmony. Relocate to screened area within 72 hours to maintain community standards. Signed, B. Hargrove, Vice President, Willow Creek HOA. I chuckled, folding it into my pocket. Maria peeked over my shoulder as she sipped her tea. Honey, that's her handwriting, curly BS like she's signing a royal decree. Probably just flexing, I muttered, firing up the truck. I've dealt with worse than a paper pusher. But that afternoon, as I backed out for a hardware store run, Barb materialized on her porch, waving like we were old pals. Alex. Lovely day, isn't it? Her voice dripped honey over steel. Just a friendly reminder about that truck, our guidelines keep things tidy. You know. For everyone's sake. I nodded politely. Appreciate the heads up, Barb. But it's on my deed-restricted pad. County says it's fine. Her smile tightened, eyes narrowing behind cat-eye glasses. Oh. Guidelines aren't just suggestions, dear. They're what separate us from chaos. She turned away with a theatrical sigh, as if I'd just confessed to littering. That night, Maria arched an eyebrow over dinner. She's testing you. Like those supply officers who nitpick manifests to feel big. I shrugged. Let her. I've got bigger battles behind me. But inside, I started a mental log. Date, time, incident. Old habits die hard. The whispers began subtly, like wind rustling leaves before a storm. A week later, At the neighborhood potluck, mandatory fun under HOA decree, I overheard snippets. "That new guy's truck looks like it's ready for war," someone murmured. "Barb says it's devaluing properties." I ignored it, dishing up potato salad. But Maria caught the glares. "They're parroting her script," she whispered. Then came the email blast from the HOA server, "Community alert, maintaining our pristine vistas." It droned on about unsightly elements with a photo attachment, my truck, cropped to look like a monster invading suburbia. "We value harmony," it concluded, "and encourage all residents to comply for the greater good." Carbon copy to every inbox in Willow Creek. I fired back a reply, "All appreciate the concern." Attached, county zoning map confirming private driveway exemptions. Let's keep things factual. Crickets from the board. But the next day, a county inspector rolled up, clipboard in tow. "Got a tip about unauthorized heavy equipment storage," he grumbled, eyeing my F-250. "Looks parked to me." He poked around, snapped pics, then sighed. "This is the third bogus call from this zip code. You're clear. But watch your back, some folks weaponize us." As he drove off, Barb watched from her window, curtains twitching. That evening, she casually strolled by while I raked leaves. "Trouble with the authorities, Alex?" Her tone was all faux sympathy. "No trouble at all," I replied evenly. "Just a misunderstanding. Funny how those happen." She blinked, her pearl necklace clinking like warning bells. "Well, rules protect us all, even from ourselves." Maria, watering the flowers, muttered under her breath. "Protect us from busybodies." More like. I logged it all, adding screenshots and timestamps. Patience. I reminded myself, the Army taught me to let amateurs overextend. Things escalated from petty to personal. The kind of slow burn that makes you clench your fists while smiling. 2 weeks in, my phone buzzed with a call from Lily's college advisor. "Mr. Thompson, we've received an anonymous report alleging family instability, something about a hostile home environment affecting her focus." My blood boiled, but I kept cool. "Anonymous. Huh. Send me the details." It traced back to a Willow Creek IP, Barb's amateur sleuthing. Maria was livid. "She's dragging our kid into this? Over a truck?" We confronted her at the next HOA meeting. A stuffy rec center affair with fluorescent lights buzzing like angry bees. Barb presided from the dais, gavel in hand. Item 3, resident concerns. A neighbor piped up, egged on by her nod. "That truck's an eyesore, blocks the view." I stood. "The view of what?" "Exactly. My legal property?" Barb interjected smoothly. "Alex. Dear. We're all about standards here. Perhaps a nice garage screen? For unity's sake." Her voice oozed condescension, like she was scolding a naughty pupil. "Unity means minding your own driveway," I shot back. Mild but pointed. Laughter rippled, nervous at first, then genuine. Barb's cheeks flushed. "This isn't a debate club." Motion to fine non-compliant vehicles, $50 daily. It passed by a slim margin. Her cronies voting yes. The fine notices piled up in my mailbox, each one more absurd, visual pollution surcharge. I paid none, instead emailing the board with attachments, deed copies, legal precedents. "Fines unenforceable on private land," I noted. Barb's response? A neighborhood Facebook group, "Preserve Willow Creek Charm." Posts flooded in, "Beware the newcomer disrupting our peace." Screenshots of my truck with captions like military mindset clashing with civilian courtesy. I commented once, courtesy includes respecting boundaries. She deleted it. But not before I saved it. Then the sabotage hit, one night. My tires hissed flat, 4 of them. Slashed clean. Security cam caught a shadowy figure in a hoodie. But the gait matched Barb's purposeful stride. Sheriff's deputy arrived. Took statements. HOA beef, he asked knowingly. Seen it before. Barb denied it over coffee the next day. Batting lashes. Vandals everywhere. Alex. Tragic. Really? If only you'd complied. Her smirk screamed guilt. Maria fumed. She's unhinged. I nodded. Adding to my growing dossier, photos. Reports. IP traces. She's digging her own grave. Let her swing the shovel. The powder keg ignited at the annual HOA audit meeting. Packed with residents who'd grown weary of Barb's reign. Whispers had spread, my quiet pushback inspired leaks, old fines forgiven for her allies. Petty vendettas against others. I'd shared my binder anonymously, timelines. Emails. Receipts showing $7,500 in miscellaneous reimbursements to her husband's firm for consulting. The room hummed with tension under bright overhead lights. Coffee urns gurgling like suppressed rage. Barb opened with her usual sermon, friends. Our community thrives on order. But agitators threaten that, spreading misinformation. Resisting progress. Eyes flicked to me. Progress like self-dealing? I stood. Voice steady as a drill sergeant. Let's review the facts. I passed out copies of my dossier. Projector beaming slides, timeline of harassment. Forged complaints. Slashed tires footage. Gasps echoed. This isn't leadership, I continued. It's abuse. Barb slammed her gavel. Lies. You're a bully hiding behind a uniform. Her face twisted, smug confidence cracking into red-faced fury. I protect this neighborhood from types like you. Laughter erupted. Bitter and cathartic. A retiree shouted. Protect us from your ego. I played the clincher, audio from a leaked board call, her voice sneering. That ex-army guy's ego is bigger than his truck. We'll bury him in fines. The room exploded. Resign, chants rose. Barb stammered. This is a witch hunt. But votes poured in, motion to recall, unanimous minus her sycophants. She stormed out. Pearls clattering. Muttering. You'll regret crossing me. The deputy noted it all. Grinning. As the meeting wrapped. Neighbors clapped me on the back. You exposed the queen bee, one said. Maria hugged me tight. Proud of you. Soldier. Outside. Under the streetlights. Willow Creek felt lighter, like the air after a thunderstorm. In the aftermath. The new board scrapped the draconian rules. Turning fines into friendly reminders. Barbecues returned without agendas. Kids played freely. And my truck sat unmolested. Barb sold her house 6 months later. Slinking away to some other suburb to terrorize. I still brew my coffee at dawn. Watching the pine sway. But now with a binder on the shelf as a trophy, not of war. But of quiet victory. Neighbors wave genuinely. And the whispers are of gratitude. Maria says I've taught Lily a lesson in resilience. Me? I've learned that tyrants crumble when you shine light on their shadows. But here's the question, in a world of petty power plays. Was Barb the real villain? Or just a product of a system that lets Karens rule unchecked? Drop your thoughts below. Who's the true enemy in your neighborhood drama?